Good morning, everybody. It is time for Chat with Chap and a little Rose Resource Room together. I am your host, Ginger Wade, and
I'm Roseanne Owagwe from Rose Resource Room.
we're so excited to be together with you here today. It is Giving Tuesday today, everybody, and we have some really great stories to share with you and some really fun things that have been happening in the CHAP organization with you. So I actually want to get started with a story. I don't know if any of you guys out there saw it, but we were requesting stories of how CHAP has encouraged you on your homeschooling journey, and we received some that were wonderful to read. So Ro is going to kick us off and get us started with our first story today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ginger. So as she shared, today is our special Giving Tuesday episode, and we are shedding light and shining light on the power of the generosity and how each of us can make a difference in our communities. So it's all about giving back, right? So we're focusing on how homeschool organizations are empowering families, how we're fostering lifelong learning and building supportive networks. And really, we just wanted to take the time to share some inspiring stories, share ways that you can get involved and just support your local homeschool community, CHAP, right, or organization, and make a difference through the power of giving back. So I wanted to kick us off with a story from one of our listeners, givers, people who just like donate their time, talent, treasure, or people who have been blessed by attending some of the conferences that CHAP has put on. So one person says, as we've commenced our homeschool journey, CHAP has been a trusty companion, serving as a source of practical resources, examples, and guidance, as well as the weekly emails giving insight into the current environment of homeschool locally and nationally. CHAP has been the source for us to connect with local evaluators and really grasp the process and particulars of homeschool. It's a tremendous gift to have such a guiding companion, but more so, it is a blessing to have committed followers of Christ rallying together to mutually equip and encourage each other to carry the convictions of home education, character development, and chiefly Christ-centered faith and life. Thank you, CHAP.
Yay! Oh, that was so good. I love to hear when people are encouraged. That encourages me. It encourages me to hear that you are encouraged. So it's this mutual encouragement.
Right.
So good. So good. So I just wanted to remind you guys out there of some of the resources that CHAP has. So she had mentioned like finding local evaluators and then the being encouraged through other things like that. So I just wanted to share with you what some of those resources are that we have for you guys to get in touch with. So if you don't know, our main website is chaponline.com, and there you'll get all kinds of resources. You can talk to us, you can find evaluators, you can find homeschool groups, you can find a mentor, and be connected to other events and our e-news and things like that. So that's where you get our bread and butter is there. So we also have homeschoolpennsylvania.org, which is a website. We call it our law knowledge database, knowledge base. So you go there and the law is there. You can read it. It's chopped up into little bits, so you can just read little portions. There's videos to help you understand it, and there's forms to help you out with all the paperwork and stuff. So that is a great resource for everyone. And that stuff is all free. And all the forms you can print, you can use them. If you change them, you just take the CHAP name on. But if you use them as we have them printed out, you just use them as they are, and they are for anyone to use in their homeschooling paperwork. We also have a legislative watchdog. So Brad Bastido is our board member who is a lawyer, and he wrote, I don't know if you know this, but he reads over 300 bills a year. He reads everything that comes through the education committees, both in the House and the Senate, and anything else that looks like it might affect homeschoolers, parental rights related things, stuff like that. He reads all of them to make sure that we are aware of what is going on in Harrisburg. So another thing is he is in contact with Will Estrada at HSLDA, who is our HSLDA representative for the state of Pennsylvania. And so they discuss things, Will's like, what do you think about this thing that's coming up? This type of stuff. So we are on top of the things that are going on there so that we can alert you guys if there's something that we need to be aware of. CHAP also has literature. If you've never been to convention, please come this year. There's so many things to support you with, but literature is one of the things that we have to hand to you. We have law booklets. We have things to help you get started with homeschooling. We have information about CHAP itself, which is really valuable if you are encouraging other people to start homeschooling and they don't even know where to start. It's one of the things that I like to hand to pastors and be like, hey, you might not know anything about homeschooling and you might want to support it, but here's our pamphlet. This is all you need to know. Just point people to us. So we have different things like that. Obviously, we have convention and other events that we had. We did the Midwinter Conference with Steve Demi last year. And one of the big things is what you're doing right now. You're watching our podcast. So we have podcasts. Chat with CHAP is now up over 260. And this is my 7th year. I just mentioned that the other day in one of my episodes. And Row is coming up on 1 year. So we're super excited about that.
Yay.
Yay. So yeah, actually, let me think. No, it'll be almost a year, just about a year when this episode airs. So very excited that Ro's been on board and we've had a good time doing these things together. Yeah, in the time that we've spent, right? It's been a good time.
Yeah, it has been an amazing time. Understatement. Ginger, can you talk about mentoring too?
Oh yeah, mentoring. Thank you for reminding me of that. I even had that on my list and I missed it. So we do have mentors. So if you go to chaponline.com, you can find mentors in there. And there is, we're building a list of ladies, but there's a core of ladies. And if you'd like to be a mentor, it's out there, sign up. There's a core of ladies there that are available for you to reach out to and talk to. If you need to talk to someone, if you have a specific question, if you're getting started, you're frustrated, I don't know, you just wondering, you just need to bounce something off somebody. The mentors are there for you. Some of us are life coaches. Some of us have experience with special needs. So there's a wide range of availability and skills there and experience, so many years of experience there. So if you are needing help in any way, please do not hesitate to reach out to us throughout the year. We are here for you. And the mentors, of course, are always around at the convention, at the chat booth to help you out in person with your questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know you've been looking at some of the YouTube comments. What are people saying about all these amazing resources that CHAP has?
I have. It's actually really fun. And again, you encourage us by saying that you're encouraged. So I'm going to read some of them to you. On one of Ro's videos, there was someone, there was more than this in the note, but the one that was the part that's pertinent says, thank you so much for your videos. Your content is such a blessing. And of course, we get a lot of thanks written on there. My beloved release, that was episodes 132 and 131. Someone wrote in, I hope the word will get out about these videos. This is really encouraging for homeschooling moms. I used to be one, but my kids are grown now. And what you are saying is good for all of us to hear again and again. It is hard work, but so important. You will be glad you did. And then she mentions 2 Chronicles 15:7. Another note was we have our first ever evaluation for my middle schoolers, and this really helped me. That was on a portfolio video. Another note from Courtney says, this was such a wonderful conversation. Great tips on loving our specific children, focusing on their strengths and getting the help, which is village and care, we need as parents, and encouragement to entrust the sovereignty of God. Thank you, ladies, for sharing your wisdom with such humility and grace. I am grateful. That was on the thing that you did with Kathy and
Rochelle.
Rochelle. Yes, it was so good. That actually wasn't from Courtney. This one's from Courtney. It was my first homeschool conference, which is the Midwinter Conference, and it was so wholesome and invigorating. So that's really, really great to hear too. That people are really appreciating that. And the last one was on the library episode I had done with Denise, 191 and 225. Someone had wrote, thank you, ladies. Very proud of you using your voices and sharing about this incredibly important topic. We were talking about getting into your libraries and making a difference there on what is there, right? And available to your kids. So very encouraging to hear you guys and how what Ro and I are sharing is encouraging you. That, I mean, it's why we're doing what we're doing, right? So
exactly. That is
so
really
wonderful.
sweet. Like, I know sometimes you're so busy and you just want to get information and go, but the fact that you spend a minute or 5 minutes or however long it takes you to curate your message, it's really, really appreciated. So thank you so much for providing those comments, and Ginger, thanks for sharing those. So
Sure.
tell me, Ginger, what are some of the needs of CHAP? Like, how can people donate their time, their talent, and their treasure? Because we know financial resources, you can click a button and donate. But
Mhm.
like in terms of like your time, what does CHAP need?
So we always need help at convention. Convention takes a lot of volunteer time, and that is something where you can give for a day or two if you don't have longer time than that to give. So when convention comes up, when you register, just keep an eye out for that. Sorry, there's something on my nose. So yeah, so convention there, I mean, that could be registration, it could be parking lot, it could be there's so many jobs. So just keep an eye on that when you sign up for registration. Other things like we're looking to convert our podcasts that we do into blogs. It was suggested to us that we do that at the conference that we went to, which we'll talk about in a minute. So that would be, and I know it's really simple and easy, but it's another step of something to do. So we're looking for someone who's interested in that and updating a web page that would hold the blog for our two podcasts. So that is something we're looking into. Extra help on social media is always good. There's so many groups out there and people to point back to us. So we're looking for someone who likes being in those groups, or multiple people actually, to be in all those different groups and just kind of point people to our resources or to our events so that they know that they're out there. There's also um, goodness, anything. We're looking to build a legislative team, and we're doing a Capitol Day. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that in the next few minutes, but definitely people who are interested in being aware of what's going on legislatively, and helping us to keep everyone abreast of what's going on, and to be well versed and prepared for anything that might be coming our way. Oh goodness. There's so many other things, and I can't, they're up on the chaponline.com. There's a volunteer page so you can see what's listed there. I don't know if it's updated. I have to check it out. But if you are interested in giving time and talents to us, we do have things, even it's just like helping us to get another little mini event going on, someone who would be willing to be boots on the ground in different locations. Again, that's something I'm going to be talking in a few minutes, but we're looking at doing things in different areas of the state. So in the Pittsburgh area, up north, or right here in central Pennsylvania, out in Erie. Are you someone who would be willing to help get an event rolling? Would you be someone who would be willing to get your hands dirty a little bit and be involved in supporting other homeschoolers? So definitely all kinds of folks that we're looking for support. So you can always write into staff@chaponline.com with the subject line volunteer, and we will chat with you and find out where it is that you fit in best.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is no excuses. There's something for everyone. Like
Oh yeah.
if you're not an administrative person, that's okay. You can be in the parking lot, right? Like
Yeah.
so there's something for everyone. And it makes me think back to our call, Ginger, where I reached out and it's like, hey, I love the work you're doing. How can I support? And we chatted for an hour with your husband. At the end, you're like, would you want to be a talk show host? I'm like, yes, right? So like
Let's do
it may
it.
not be something that was already mentioned, but maybe there's a skill that you have, like we don't know what we don't know, right? So maybe there's something that you can offer that we haven't talked about. Just send an
Mhm.
email and say, hey, I'm really good at this. Can this be of help? Can this be of support? So
Mhm.
love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, we're all about people who have the energy to start something. If you want to start something new, we're all about that. Talk to us about it. If you've got a team or a group of people who want to do an initiative of some kind, we'd love to hear about it.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So you shared about like the resources, you talked about how people can donate their time and their treasure. In terms of financial donations, what do you use the funds for? Like if there's someone who's really not convinced about why they should link arms, can you talk
Mhm.
a little bit more about how you've used funds in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things, if you've ever been to convention on Saturday, you will notice that we give out scholarships to two graduating seniors who are going forward in some sort of education scholarships that we give to those students. Another thing is the CHAP Foundation. And what that is when something happens to someone. There's a fire, there's a flood, there's health issues, there's work issues, and you need some funds to help you continue your homeschooling with your children. That's what the CHAP Foundation is there for. So we give out grants to folks, you know, there's a form and a process and everything, but we give out grants to help people continue homeschooling in times of need. And the other thing is the annual Freedom Fund. So what that does is enable us to continue to have events. So the convention, the Midwinter Conference, these new things I'm going to mention in a few minutes, they all take funds to rent spaces and hire speakers and do all the things. And we all know nothing is cheap, and it's not getting cheaper right now. So those are the ways that you can give financially. That is what's going to go into that. It also goes into literature, like all that literature we have out on the table for you. Obviously, print material is not cheap either. So those things, we can continue having law booklets for you, and, you know, ways, flyers to help people get started homeschooling easily, reminders for them, you know, our pamphlets, other things like that. Homeschool research booklets that we can get from NHERI, NHERI.org. Check them out. They're really great. So, yeah, so anything like that, any of the resources that we're pulling together, you know, paying for web fees, paying for, you know, whatever it is that we need to purchase in order to be able to continue this functioning.
Thank you for sharing that. I think you've teased us long enough. What's on the horizon? What are these exciting things that you're cooking up? Tell us more, because it's interesting. I just met a director of advocacy yesterday, and it made me start looking up Capital Days. And the only one that's coming up is one in Ohio. I'm like, I don't want to drive to Ohio. So please tell me about your Capital Day. When is that?
Okay. So, yes, we had been to the Alliance and HSLDA conferences. Thank you for everyone who supported us in doing that. So when we were there with our team, Bro was there, and our convention coordinators were there, and Courtney, our social media person, was there, and the Hunts were there, and we all got like a fire lit under us to do. It always gives you encouragement to do new things. And what we were really hearing from people there across the nation is we really need to be on top of legislative things. We really need to be connecting with people and getting us all thinking about protecting our right to homeschool. So the first thing we're starting with the Capital Day is a Capital Day. So April 15th, save the date. I'm going to be sending out some graphics in the next few weeks once things are more solidified, but we have space reserved on April 15th. I know it's tax day and I know it's Holy Week. So we know these things. This is where it landed for this year, but so we have reached out to senators and House representatives, and they're going to come in and be speaking. Some are homeschoolers, some are allied with homeschooling. We have plans to bring people in from Pittsburgh. So we received some grants to help us to charter some buses to bring people in from other places. So we are so excited to get people connected and talking about homeschooling at the Capitol, touring the Capitol. And so Alicia is working on that and getting that ready. And along with that, we're looking to really beef up the legislative team so that we can, you know, talk with Will Estrada, be talking with the people who are there making laws at the Capitol, and really just form information to be sharing with those who come to Capitol Day and need to should be talking to their legislator, right? So this legislative team would say, hey, Capital Day folks, this is what you can talk to your legislator about when you go meet them and say, hey, we're a homeschool family in your district and we would like you to know us. And this is what we're concerned about. Those types of things. So that is one of the big things that we're doing, and we're super excited for it.
And Ginger, let me just put that into perspective, because the Alliance was just at the end of September. And here we are, like less than a month in, and there's so much happening. So I love the fact that you go to a conference, you get inspired, and you immediately take action. So kudos to CHAP for not just sitting on information, but saying, okay, how can we help families? What can we do? How can we do more? Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, we have great volunteers who are willing to do that. They were working, man, it was awesome. It was awesome. Some of the things coming up too, Ro, I mean, we've been talking with Andrew Pudewa. Those of you out there who are familiar with IEW, Andrew Pudewa has been doing what he's calling whistle stop tours in various states. And he'll go in and he'll go to 4 different areas of your state and give some talks, some practical homeschooling talks, and then yes, let's jump into homeschooling talk. So we have talked to him about this, and we are planning a whistle stop tour, but there's no information other than that about it right now. We are totally in the planning process, trying to work out dates and locations, which again is why I said earlier, if you would like to be involved, we need boots on the ground. So if you are in, say, near the Scranton area or the Pittsburgh, northern Pittsburgh burbs area, or near me in Elizabethtown, we're not exactly sure where the fourth one will be, maybe State College area, Altoona, we need some folks on the ground who have locations where we could have these whistle stop tours, like a church. It would really only be one room. And yeah, so if you would like to be involved with that, we would like to talk to you, but we're really excited about that. Andrew is really great, and he's just really out there getting the word out about homeschooling, just encouraging people to homeschool. I mentioned the legislative team already, and with convention, you really want to stay on top of what's going on with convention. And it's at the same place, same week of the year. It is Father's Day weekend, Elizabethtown College, but there's some new add-ons, some new things, and the happy old UCS is coming back. So keep your ear to the ground. Keep your eyes on your email. There's some fun stuff that's coming up. We're just really excited. There's lots of energy in what we're planning for you coming up this year.
And let me just quickly say, for anyone who did not get excited about UCS, it means used curriculum sale. So now you have to get excited that there are multiple tables of amazing resources. So now you can join the excitement.
Sorry. Oh, you get talking about it all the time and you forget that people don't know what things mean.
It's all good. Good stuff. That's amazing, amazing things that are on the horizon. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what, out there, I would love to share. If I can take a minute, Ro, I would love to just mention the folks that helped us get to the conferences. We are so grateful for your support. I'm just going to mention you by name because you're just so sweet. So those who donated, who helped us to get down to the Alliance and HSLDA conferences, we had Kevin and Patricia and Karen and Linda and Jennifer and Sandra and maybe Sandra and Lauren and Meredith and Steve and Diane and Bradley and Renee. Thank you so much for supporting us. It really means a lot because, when you put your money where your mouth is or whatever, I mean, it just really shows that you value what CHAP is doing and you are there to support us, and that, you have our back, right? It makes us feel like what we're doing here is really helping others and is important. So we're grateful for you.
And I forget the numbers, Ginger. Was it 6 adults and 15 kids?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because Courtney was there, and then there was 6, 10, 13, 14 kids. And what about you? And you were there, 14, 17 kids, 8 adults and 17 kids. So
that's not cheap. That's not cheap. So thank you to everyone who was just mentioned.
Yes.
That's not an easy lift.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. We're so grateful for your support, guys. It really seriously means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you started talking about the Alliance and the HSLDA conference. Tell us all about that.
So the Alliance, someone actually maybe mistook it for the Alliance Church. It's actually the National Alliance of Christian Homeschool Home Education Leaders. Oh, NACHL is the name for it. So it's leaders from all over the nation, all but 4 states, come together, and we just talk about what's going on. We have town halls. We talk about some law issues that we're dealing with. We talk about ways to support each other, resources that, hey, I've built this. Would you like to use it? Oh yeah, that'd be great. So we share stuff when we share resources. It's one of the things that Homeschool University came out of. I keep forgetting to mention Homeschool University, but we have a 2-week getting started with a homeschool course that you can purchase called Homeschool University. You can find it on our website. That came out of Indiana. They developed this and they shared it with all the rest of us. And then we added our state specific things into it. So it's been really great to connect with them, and we get encouraged, and it's just people who are leading the homeschool movement like we are. So it's really great to be connected with those people who know where we're coming from. And then HSLDA, of course, is the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. And they bring us together. They give us some legislative updates, and they give us leadership training. And that was really wonderful too. And again, we got to connect with Will and other folks at HSLDA, and then some of the state leaders stay, and some other leaders from co-ops and groups come in. So we just get to continue to network and know more people, and we get poured into. There's devotional times at all of them all week long. There was devotional time and worship time, and that's as important as anything else, just to be refreshed. It's more important really to be refreshed and to just refocus and let God just get the stuff out, lay the stuff at his feet, right? And so many good things to hear and listen to, and it was just good to fellowship too. A lot of fellowship time. So it was really good.
It was really good seeing you there. I was excited that I had the opportunity to attend and get some nice warm weather in Nashville. But I have to say that HSLDA truly exceeded my expectations. Like, I don't even have enough time to cover everything that made the experience so exceptional, right? Like, from the logistics to the overall organization, everything was so well thought out. Like, from the name badges with the schedule to the kids program where the children had the STEAM conference with the medieval theme, right? I avoid gluten. I was able to have like special plates, gluten-free meals, lactose-free meals, just so much. Like the venue was perfect. The opportunity to spend time with your family and to get to know people, not just going like back to back from conferences, but really being able to take breaks and then check in and all those things. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, they did. It's like that every year, and there's plenty of time for learning, and there's plenty of time for, and you can just take time to fellowship, take time to talk to people. So yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, and I agree. I was really, really pleased to see the prayer rooms and to see that every morning there was family worship and then there was praise and worship. It was just so beautiful, really, really inspiring. I had like some speakers who challenged me immensely, and then I had some who had me laughing and crying at the same time. Like, it was really good. So I'm excited that we were able to attend that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you were there. It was good to have everyone there. So,
oh my gosh, Ginger, we talked about so much. I actually want to share one more story.
Yes, please do.
Someone said, when I started to explore homeschooling, I didn't know where to begin. I knew our family was being called to homeschooling and I wanted to do it well. A friend invited me to a CHAP convention that opened my eyes so much. We haven't missed a convention since, and even now, after 12 years of homeschooling, I still walk away refreshed, equipped, and encouraged. I appreciate the support CHAP offers throughout the year, as well as with newsletters, podcasts, and resources. One specific way our faith was strengthened through CHAP events was by being introduced to the world of apologetics and creationism. What an awesome gift from our kind God it has been to learn about all these things alongside my children. Thank you, CHAP, for all that you do.
Yay! Oh, that was so sweet. That was so sweet. Yes, and like she said, she'd been coming for 12 years, and it's still encouraging. I've been going for, won't say how long I've been going, but I'm so encouraged when I go and listen to things and talk to people. And it's just so good. It's just
really
so good. Yeah. Yeah. So, Ro, as we wrap up our Giving Tuesday show here, so today's the day. What is it that you will be giving to if you donate to us today? Well, you're going to be helping us get this Whistle Stop tour running. You're going to be helping us get talk about the Midwinter Conference too, and supporting in that. You're going to help us with Capital Day. You're going to be helping us to get our UCS back on target, and you're going to be able to help us provide more literature for those that 1, 2, 3. If you went to convention and saw the 1, 2, 3 homeschool card, I don't know how many of those we gave out. Everyone thought that was so encouraging and so helpful. So those are the types of things. They're quick. You can have it in your bag and hand it to someone. They're easy to share. So these are the types of things that you are going to enable us to continue doing, besides the scholarship, besides helping people in need, which right now, you guys know, it's getting really hard. We go to the store and we bring home 3 bags of groceries and it's $100. I mean, it's getting really hard right now. So if you can support CHAP in supporting others in that way, that would be so amazing. We can join together as partners and just do this thing together, because really, goodness, we need to support each other. Just relationally and just in all
Yeah.
these ways, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely. And I will say that even though this is the Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
this is not only supporting Pennsylvania. Hello, people. I live in New Jersey. And why do I go to CHAP? Because we don't have a convention in New Jersey. The last testimonial that I read is from someone in Delaware. Like this goes beyond Pennsylvania. So imagine that your dollar, your $5, your $10, your $100, whatever you give, it's not only helping the massive state of Pennsylvania, but going beyond to other states.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the things that has been on our hearts for years because we knew New Jersey, Delaware do not have organizations like this, and they do not have events. And even folks from Maryland now they do. They didn't at the time. So, and New York doesn't hold an event anymore. So we're trying to support it. But as long as we're continuing to do it, we are there for people. And that's, if you get there, you are super encouraged.
Yeah.
The Midwinter Conference last year, I can't remember the dates, but I'm believing this year we're thinking maybe February 21st, 22nd. So maybe
Okay.
save the date for that too. We don't have solid information on that yet, but I'm pretty sure it's February 21st, 22nd. So that's another date. So you got April 15th for Capital Day, you got February 21st and 22nd for Midwinter Conference, and then the convention is June 12, 13, 14.
Perfect.
Yes. So those are your dates to save. So in all of that, if you would like to support us financially, we would be so blessed by it. So chaponline.com/donate. And then there's the three things. So the Annual Freedom Fund does all the events and all the things like that we do. The Memorial Scholarship Fund supplies funds for the graduating seniors who receive scholarships. And the CHAP Foundation is supporting those in need. So thank you to all who have donated over the past year. I don't have that list, unfortunately, but I know there's some people very close to me on the screen at the moment who have helped throughout this past year, and some others that we're very grateful for your consistent support of our organization. Thank you. And we welcome any of the rest of you who would like to join in this ministry that we are doing to support families in following Christ in all of life.
Man, awesome. We thank you in advance for your support.
All right. Have a great Giving Tuesday and holiday season. We will see you. Goodbye.
Bye.